Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. An agreement between Manchester United and Real Madrid for Rafael Varane is just hours away. Manchester United are preparing a €50 million bid for Varane. Real Madrid are ready to accept our offer. Rafael Varane has definitely decided that he wants to leave Real Madrid, and he tells Real Madrid he wants to join Manchester United this summer. Fabrizio Romano said that Rafael Varane's confirmed to Man United that he will accept our contract bid, and he's told Real Madrid his intention to go to the Premier League, but he still has respect for Real Madrid. He said yesterday Rafael Varane will be a Manchester United player in the coming days. Man United are inching closer every day to signing Varane. So it's looking very imminent. He's going to be our third signing of this summer transfer window. Not so long ago, Rafael Varane and his family were allegedly house hunting in Manchester. So reflecting on that fueled speculation. He said the other week that Varane's move to Man United could have been delayed. He said Varane would have been happy to wait another year for a switch to Man United. We received a massive boost in our pursuit of Rafael Varane because he says Real Madrid's wages were forced to be slashed by 150 million. Sky Sports did say though at one point that Man United had been given permission to approach Varane over the personal terms. Varane said he wants to be able to finish his holiday and then change clubs. But Varane has agreed the personal terms with Man United and is set to sign a 5-year contract which will keep him at Manchester United until 2026. Varane told Florentino Perez that he wants to leave Real Madrid. And he's obviously had positive discussions with Man United. A swap deal was discussed. It says Man United were willing to offer Donny van de Beek or Paul Pogba as part of the Varane deal. Real Madrid offered Varane a renewal contract offer, but he rejected it. Varane's current contract at Real Madrid expires next year. Being a long-serving player at Real Madrid, he was with them over 10 years, made 360 appearances in all competitions, and won a lot of trophies, so reflecting on that, he's got a good pedigree as a player. Real Madrid got Varane from Lens back in 2011. But he's regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world, and I can assure he will exceed expectations in the Premier League. What a centre-back partnership that is, Varane and Harry Maguire. They'll complement each other fantastically well. We went in for Varane 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Woodward was also prepared to sanction a £100 million move for him back in 2018. Real Madrid recently lost Sergio Ramos. He joined PSG on a 3 transfer. Who will be our next signing after Rafael Varane? It could be Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. Mundo Deportivo recently said that Man United have been in advanced negotiations with Saul Niguez's agent. And it says Man United are the front runners to sign Saul Niguez. Saul Niguez wants a move to the Premier League. It says Man United and Liverpool are set to rival Barcelona in the battle to sign Niguez. I think Atletico Madrid are willing to sell him for like £43 million. Saul Niguez has a release clause of around £129 million. He's under contract with Atletico Madrid until 2026, because back in 2017 he signed a 9-year contract. He's been at Atletico Madrid for a good 13 years or so. He can play as a central midfielder or a defensive midfielder. He is the age of 26, so he's still in his prime. Not so long ago, Barcelona were in talks with Atletico Madrid over a swap deal involving Griezmann and Saul Niguez. Kieran Trippier, now he's been another player on our agenda. Neil Custis from The Sun said not so long ago that Man United are set to announce a double deal for Varane and Kieran Trippier. He said the announcement is expected towards the end of this week. You know, he says Varane for 50 million and Kieran Trippier for 18 million. But like I updated you recently, the Spanish outlet AS said that Atletico Madrid won't sell Kieran Trippier to Manchester United. It said though Man United were close to signing Kieran Trippier for around £18 million. It says Atletico Madrid were demanding £26 million. We've already had 2 offers rejected for Trippier. Trippier has been in talks over buying Raheem Sterling's £3 million mansion. Back in January we was in for Trippier, but we called our interest because Kieran Trippier got banned by FIFA for 8 weeks for breaching betting rules. But it would be beneficial if we could recommend Trippier in, because, you know, Trippier's a right back and it would provide competition for Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka is the only recognised senior right back at Man United at the moment. He's highly experienced, which is also beneficial, and he's proven in the Premier League. Atletico Madrid paid £20 million for Kieran Trippier from Tottenham back in 2019. His current contract at Atletico Madrid expires next year. He won his first La Liga title with Atletico last season. I've got to say, you know, Man United are enjoying a good summer transfer window. Obviously, so far, we've made 2 signings in this summer transfer window. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free transfer from Aston Villa. Tom Heaton recently did well on his debut for the club in that pre-season friendly against Derby. He made 2 or 3 excellent saves in that game. Tom Heaton is obviously the replacement for Sergio Romero. Not so long ago we released Sergio Romero. And obviously we brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. He's a very good signing. Fabrizio Romano said that the paperwork has been sorted between Man United and Borussia Dortmund for Sancho, and last week Sancho completed his medical with Man United. But I said it was very imperative that Solskjaer got all the players that he wanted to recommend in this summer transfer window. And it's about time he got the backing he deserves, because he wasn't backed enough for such a long time. This summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. Solskjaer's made it clear that he wants to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window. But our board did make it clear that they'd back Solskjaer with summer signings and a new 3-year contract. Before the summer transfer window opened, it said Solskjaer had been given a 150 million transfer budget, to buy around 4 or 5 new players. There is good players at Manchester United, and there's players that have really, really improved. Dean Henderson, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. Towards the end of last season, we put him as our number 1. Dean Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. And obviously Dean Henderson has got that experience behind him, because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, Dean Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the club, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to Man United. It said not so long ago that Solskjaer's actually chosen Dean Henderson to be our number 1 for next season. Dean Henderson, I think, will be staying at the club. David De Gea, I think he's a good goalkeeper, despite him making quite a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years. It looks very imminent that De Gea is going to be staying at Manchester United, because David De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for a starting place. De Gea, though, said he's determined to fight for his future. He did say at one point he's convinced he'll stay at Man United and be Solskjaer's number 1 for next season. He said after the Euros that David De Gea was set for talks with Solskjaer regarding his future, because ESPN did say that De Gea was unsure on Solskjaer's final decision. The other week it said De Gea could be loaned out by Man United next season to make room in the goalkeeping department, because obviously it said De Gea's future is in doubt following the arrival of Tom Heaton. De Gea's endured 10 years at the club, so he has been a long servant. He's been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. A few years ago, De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. He's won everything domestically at the football club. He's made over 500 appearances in all competitions. De Gea's on £375,000 a week at Man United. But if we was to sell him in this summer transfer window, or even in the January transfer window, I reckon we'd get from between 40 to 50 million pounds. Luke Shaw, he's very, very good. I thought Luke Shaw enjoyed a very good tournament for England. Obviously scored the first goal in the final against Italy, and he was our best player last season. Fabrizio Romano mentioned not so long ago that Man United are in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. I think Shaw just got under 2 years left on his current contract. Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles last year. And Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Shaw has been with us now for over 7 years. I think we paid, was it £30 million for him from Southampton back in 2014. And Luke Shaw will be staying with us. Harry Maguire, he's a decent centre-half. Maybe there's still certain aspects of his game that I've got to improve. By the way, I thought Maguire did very, very well for England during the tournament. He's had his good games at Man United, he's had his bad games. He was a big miss for us though towards the end of last season, Maguire, because he had ligament damage in his ankle. We overpaid for Harry Maguire. We got him in a deal worth £80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and the second most expensive signing at the club behind Pogba. And Maguire will be staying. Eric Bailly, I think he's a very good centre-half, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect he is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's obviously an option of a further year. We probably made a mistake giving him that new contract. We got Bailly back in 2016 from Villarreal for 30 million. Bailly's been with us now over 5 years, and Bailly's obviously going to be staying at the club. Wan-Bissaka, he's improved. You know, he's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Bissaka defensively has always been superb, but he's got to show more attacking intent. That's what's letting him down at the moment. He did play in that pre-season friendly against Derby and didn't really show much attacking intent. We got Bissaka for 50 million from Crystal Palace back in 2019, so Bissaka's enjoyed 2 full seasons at Man United now. And Bissaka's going to be staying with us. I think he'll be with us long term, to be honest with you. Scott McTominay, you know, he's a decent player, but McTominay is not yet on that level where I want him to be at. The question is, can he emulate that level? He certainly needs more time at the club. He's been part of the club for a long time as it stands. Just after the first lockdown, was it last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. McTominay is going to be staying with us. Paul Pogba, you know, he's really improved as well. Paul Pogba produced his best performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. He does bring creativity to the team. At one point last season though, Pogba was out with a thigh injury for a while. According to recent reports, Paul Pogba is set to stay at Manchester United. It says a new contract for Paul Pogba at Manchester United could see him stay at the club for the rest of his career. Paul Pogba has decided to allow his contract to run down, then he'll make a decision on his future next summer. Pogba's current contract expires next year because last season we triggered that 1 year extension on his contract. But Ollie's hopeful he'll stay at Man United, Pogba, and sign a new contract. Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic said not so long ago that Pogba's not expected to sign a new contract at Man United before the new season gets underway next month. Sky Sports News said at one point that Man United were in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract, and it said we wanted to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth 104 million. Because he said we fear losing Pogba on a free transfer. It recently said that Barcelona are working tirelessly on a swap deal for Paul Pogba. It says they're willing to offer us Samuel Umtiti and Antoine Griezmann as part of the deal for Pogba. But yeah, he's had a long-running transfer saga, Pogba. You know, he's also been linked with PSG. Not so long ago, Foot Mercato said that Paul Pogba wants to join PSG this summer, and we could demand 4 players as part of the Paul Pogba swap deal with PSG. PSG want to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. We've set the asking price for Pogba, it's 50 million. Julian Lawn said the other week that PSG were considering making a move, and Fabrizio Romano said PSG are interested in signing Paul Pogba and they made contact with Paul Pogba's representatives. Madrid have been linked to Pogba, Juventus have been linked to him, his former club. He had 4 good years at Juventus before he rejoined Man United, and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Pogba's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. Mini Oriola, who was obviously Pogba's agent, you know, he's been desperate to get Pogba out of the club, and he did a lot of talking last season. He actually made an announcement back in December regarding Pogba, saying that Paul Pogba's career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of extending his contract. And Solskjaer was furious with Pogba's agent's announcement. Bruno Fernandes, he's also very, very good as well. Obviously we know Bruno Fernandes is going to be staying. Bruno Fernandes is our best player, and he's one of the best signings we have made since Ferguson retired. In most of Bruno Fernandes' games he's been very, very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace, but let's be honest, we have overplayed him. Bruno Fernandes must have been at Man United now for a good 19 months or so. Fabrizio Romano did say not so long ago that Man United are looking at a new contract for Bruno Fernandes. He said towards the end of last season that Man United were looking to double Bruno Fernandes' wages to £200,000 a week. He's on $100,000 a week at the moment. Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Predominantly plays as a number 10. Mason Greenwood, he's also very, very good as well. He's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. He really has. Despite him going a long period without scoring, Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019, and he's been a United player since the age of 7. And last season he signed a new 4-year contract with Man United. And Greenwood's going to be staying at the club. You can play Greenwood on the right, you can also play him up top. Marcus Rashford, you know, he's good when he wants to be, but there's aspects of Rashford's game that's got to improve. You know, because Rashford's endured his bad periods and he's also become injury prone. Marcus Rashford is going to be out until the end of October, because don't forget he decided to undergo surgery on his shoulder. Marcus Rashford's going to be staying, by the way, at Man United. He was a bench warmer for England during the tournament. We need to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left-hand side, because that's where he seems to be more effective. And Edison Cavani, you know, he's made a fantastic impact since he's come in. And I'm glad he's staying for next season. Fabrizio Romano did say towards the end of last season that Cavani agreed a 1-year contract. So, there you go. Man United are going to offload players in this summer transfer window. We need to, because they're still deadwood at the club, and whoever we offload, we are going to generate money, obviously. So, Alex Telles, you know, he's been subjected to transfer speculation. You know, he recently said Inter Milan want him on loan, and Sky in Italy said not so long ago that Roma were in talks to sign Alex Telles for a replacement for the injured Leonardo Spinazzola. Telles has only endured one season at Man United, but he's hardly played. Brandon Williams, I'm expecting him to go out on loan to obviously gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities, because Williams seldom plays for us as our third choice left back. You know, Phil Jones, I'm expecting us to offload him in this summer transfer window. We have agreed to let Axel Tuanzebe go. Diego Dalot, I think he'll be leaving as well. He was out on loan with AC Milan last season. Andres Pereira, he's another one who I think will be going. He was out on loan with Lazio. Donny van der Beek as well. There's a very, very good chance that we're going to offload him. I initially thought Anthony Martial and Matic were going to be leaving, but looks like now they're staying. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.